Welcome back into the Sports Source. We're talking about stories that write themselves here in the break. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. The Downtown Knoxville Boat Show is going on today, and for the first time in my memory, there's actually a boat show in Knoxville, and there's no snow. Usually they have to deal with snow, and they didn't this time around. Get out there, great rebates, and they've got a ton of boats showing right now at the Knoxville Boat Show, and that is at the Knoxville Convention Center today. You'll be very impressed by what you see from Madisonville Marine. Okay, coming up next, I want to talk about Lady Vols seeding, and we'll tell you what another SEC coach said and ask what would have been the reaction here if Butch Jones had said the same thing. That should be fun. You'll want to stick around. You'll be interested in who said it and what it was. But first, Mark Pankratz is back. I have a wipey board here. I have bad penmanship, but still, I asked you 4 things Tennessee needs for next year if they're going to show improvement. There we go. Playmaker. We'll just run through them for you.
Well, and I don't want it to be caught in the moment of what happened at the end of the Georgia game, but it's been a thing all year where we do not have a guy that can go and create his own shot. When we need a bucket, who can get to the free throw line, who can go make a basket, or get somebody else a shot. Tennessee just doesn't have that right now. The one guy that they're saying could be is Jalen Johnson, who's been sitting out. He's sitting out redshirted this year, a wing that could potentially be
We'll get to that part in a second.
All right.
Get to that part in a second. All right, so next you got point guard.
Point guard play that, I looked at between Lamonte Turner, Bone, Phillips, who played some point guard, and Quay Parker. They averaged 6.9 assists and 5 turnovers a game, shot 33% from the field and 26% from three-point land. We've got to have improvement there.
Okay, and the next 2 are they speak for themselves: perimeter defense and depth in the post. Okay, now here's my question for you. Got about a minute. Do you see those things on the roster next year, in the signing class, or is Rick Barnes going to have to be an alchemist and coach it up somehow?
Well, I mentioned the perimeter play. They're really high on Jalen Johnson. Outside of that, for your playmaker, I think that's still a big need. The recruiting class is 3 big guys at this point. And so I think that's not there, that they'll have to continue to develop and improve that skill. The point guard play, I think that is there. I do think Lamonte Turner and Jordan Bone will evolve and become much better players. The one thing that Barnes, if I'm not a big criticism on him, but I think the way he's handled Bone, I hope it does play out and Bone can continue to improve. Perimeter defense, that's Barnes' deal. Right. I think he's got a chance to coach that out of him. The post play, the improvement there, I think that's where you're seeing the influx of coming. Of the 3 recruits, they're all big guys. Everybody's really big on Jans Perez, I think that's how you pronounce it, guy that can do multiple things. So I think that's coming from a depth standpoint.
Yeah, you've got one guy who's 6'11" coming in, and then the rest of them, if you're thinking the traditional Twin Towers type height, big 6'10", 6'11", you got one of those, and the other guys are 6'8", 6'6".
Yeah. And we know they'll all lose 2 or 3 inches once Barnes gets them on the roster.
Mark Pankratz, thanks for being with us all basketball season. We've had an AD search, we've had football coaching staff changes. It's kind of eaten into the basketball talk. Thanks for being with us. No problem. Appreciate it. All right, when we come back, Butch Jones, Lady Vols, you'll want to stick for this quote. Come on back.